Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Simone. We gotta get in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Child, listen, I don't have the mental capacity to go episode by episode of this bullshit. I'm gonna just start off by saying, before I even get into this review, the answer to Bravo's problem is in a black woman. They need to go find a black woman to produce this damn show. I have watched the last 5, 6, 7, however many episodes are out. And first of all, it's a hard watch from a lot of angles. Just from the production standpoint and the storylines and the lack of storylines. And now, they're all beautiful women, but some of them surgeries is hard to look at. It's so bad. I would rather be outside in my good linen watching leaves grow. I can't take it. Get somebody that can tell y'all what y'all doing wrong and what y'all need to do right. Because what their shows are giving, from Real Housewives of Atlanta to even that Beverly Hills, that motherfucking Beverly Hills, I can't even watch that. It's too much like going to work. It gives that y'all are producing entertainment for black communities or entertainment using black talent without the consideration of what is entertaining to black communities. Because this is bullshit. And you know what just hit me? Maybe the problem is the target audience ain't even the black community. Maybe you're not producing black shows or shows with black talent to be entertaining to black people. It gives that maybe y'all think that the lack of understanding of our culture is entertaining, or the lack of understanding of the cast or antagonizing certain cast members is entertaining. It's absolutely not. It is triggering and damn near traumatizing. Now that's my little 2 cents on production. Let me run this cast down. First of all, Porsha has made her grand return, and she has gone from being the princess of Thoughtlandia to the queen of trifling. This girl, when I tell you I'm so sick of Porsha, I mean, she's just trifling, and got the audacity to sit up here and try to sell this broken-hearted story of how she was this woman who just fell in love with this man, and he's just not who she thought he was. Who did you think you were gonna marry when you married a man whose wife introduced you to him? She's selling this bullshit about how they had all these trust issues and financial issues, and he's just not the man that I thought I was marrying. Well, girl, ain't no honor amongst thieves. I'm not buying all that bunch of I loved Simon and we were a family and my daughter called him Papa and my daughter's looking for him and he won't even respond. Porsha didn't love that damn man. Porsha wanted Shamea's life by any means necessary. And what she thought is that she had hit the jackpot. She thought she hit a lick. She thought she was gonna be living a lavish life. And the reward of her lifestyle was gonna offset the social cost that it cost her to get that lifestyle. And it backfired. And one of y'all came in the comments and reminded me on one of my old videos that I said, way back when I was reviewing that damn spinoff show that she had where she was acting a fool trying to fight Dennis' mama and all, I said Simon was her karma. That she had met her karma in a man named Simon, and now look. Now, Shamea, I think Shamea is the epitome of that girl. She is truly that girl in every way, but her fatal flaw is going to be her loyalty to Porsha. I think she's perfect for the show. I think she is a real star in real life. Like, she has multiple talents. She can sing, she can act, she can dance. She's on the radio. Like, everything that Porsha has been trying to be all these years, while she was a minister and she up there singing Amazing Grace, got Candy casting her in plays and shit. All of a sudden, she wanted to be on Dish Nation and be a radio personality. All of that is what Shamea is in real life. Now, my problem with Shamea is the way that she will turn a blind eye to Porsha's bullshit. What's going to happen is she's going to compromise her own reputation and her own character fucking with Porsha. Shamea is going to have to come to terms with the fact that Porsha is not her companion. Porsha is her competitor. Porsha is the girl who befriends you because it's easier to be your friend than your competition. Porsha is the girl that befriends you to get to know all of the details about you, to really figure out how you do you, to get behind the scenes and in the devil's details about you so she can truly emulate you or she can take you down. I've had friends like that, and I'm telling you, this is dangerous. You got to get the fuck around them. Anybody that wants your life will set you up to lose your life. Believe that. And it's almost never a stranger. There ain't people like to holler, no new friends, and I'll let you, don't be the new friends. And be that motherfucker that done been there 10, 15, 20 years that you think is your friend, that has been around. Because here's what people have to learn. Longevity and loyalty are not one and the same. Just because somebody has been around you all them years, don't mean that they mean you any good. Sometimes they're just committed to their assignment. And that's what I get from Porsha with Shamea. I don't think Porsha is Shamea's friend at all. She does not love that girl. She does not have the best interest at heart for that girl. She will do that girl in the first chance she gets, which is why she's doing shit like in this season when Shamea's song came out, which is an absolutely beautiful song. I downloaded it immediately. I loved it. She is at the dinner table like, that's not Shamea, that must be Drew. The bitch is beefing with Drew. She thinks Drew is screwing her baby daddy, but she would give Drew the credit for the song and not Shamea. That's a sick girl. Now, hopefully Shamea is coming to terms with that. I see that, you know, she got a YouTube channel. Porsha got a YouTube channel. Everybody got a YouTube channel. Everybody down to the internet giving they 2 cents on a dollar worth of business. And Shamea is saying that I guess she and Porsha are not in the same place that they were back when the season was filming. And, you know, maybe she's coming to realize that Porsha ain't as much of her friend as Shamea is Porsha's friend. And you know, I get that Shamea wants to see the best in Porsha. It is heartbreaking when you realize that the people you love, that you have loved for years, people who have been in your life since childhood, like when you realize that you don't like me, you don't love me, you're actually my enemy. That is one of the most heartbreaking realizations. And so I understand Shamea's need for the blinders. I understand her need to see the best in Porsha. But it's arriving at a point where your need to see the best in Porsha is going to become detrimental to you. For me, let me tell you how I am. I'm the type of person where if I see that you'll do some shit to somebody else, I don't care how close me and you are supposed to be. You'll do it to me. So if you would befriend that other girl, I don't remember Simon's ex-wife's name, but if you would befriend that girl and you would let her introduce you to her husband and you be up in her house at her little girls' nights and stuff, knowing you got your eye on her damn husband, as soon as some shit hit the fan, well, I DM'd the both of them and I was telling them I hope that everything works out and I hope they're okay. And next thing we know, you laid up with her man. If you'll do it to her, you will do it to me. If she'll do it to that girl, she'll do it to Shamea. And Shamea got a legit millionaire. If you think Porsha wouldn't be the girl who would sit up and listen to Shamea and talk to her every day, waiting on a crack in their foundation so she can slip her snake ass in, you out your damn mind. Now, the new girl, Kelli, aside from her cosmetic work that is I just cannot take, I liked her at first until I saw her in action, especially in regard to this Brit girl. She's a single mom, I guess newly single mom of 4 daughters. She's going through a divorce that seems to be quite traumatic. The man done threatened to unalive her in front of the damn judge in court. Well, damn. And she seemed like a fun, sweet girl who's, you know, about her business. She has a restaurant, some sort of a chicken and waffle spot. And she's a very devoted mom. She tries to keep her children out of the drama that's going on between she and her husband. And so I really liked her at first. But once I saw her in action with Brit, and saw how this girl will flat out lie, she is not to be trusted. Now, the new girl, Brit, I don't know what pits of Oscar's trash can they pull that bitch out of, but they need to send her back. That girl has to be the worst casting decision in Bravo history. I'm trying to figure out what they possibly thought she was going to bring to the show. Like, what did you think she was going to bring that was going to be entertaining and was going to add to this show? She is clearly insane. Like, she's out of her natural mind. You can look in her eyes and she has this vacant, vapid, I'm just a vessel waiting on a demon to take over kind of a look. Like, she is empty. And the smoke that she got for Kenya, that you don't even know this lady. I don't know where Bravo keeps getting these fans from that come on and they have these vendettas against somebody they've watched on TV for years. But the smoke she got for Kenya, she needs to have for plastic surgeons. I know she done went to them people with pictures of Nicki Minaj and said this is what she want to look like. Them people owe her money back and she owed them an ass whooping because you look crazy. And I cannot stand. I don't know if it's just me, but listening to her talk, I feel like I can't breathe. I don't know what they did to her nose. I don't know why she sounds like that, but I cannot take it. She literally brings nothing to this show. I mean, 1 minute into her introduction in the first episode, she's talking about, my ring is 10 carats and I have to keep my titties in when I drink. That's the other thing. I never seen more titties on this show in my life. Go put on a shirt, bitch. We don't want to see that shit you selling. Now, also in the first episode, when we're introduced to the new ladies through Shamea, because I guess that's how supposedly they roped into this. They're supposedly friends with Shamea because Shamea is the center of the friend group this year, which, I mean, I kind of understood at first until I got to see Angela. Angela needs to be the center of the show. Anyway, in the very first episode, the way that we are introduced to them in the drama is we see the new girl Brit, the new girl Kelli, and Shamea. They're, having dinner or they out somewhere, something. I don't know. And they're talking about the friend group and the ladies on the show and whatnot. And the girl Kelli asked Shamea, why did Porsha take that girl's man? And Shamea seems to take personal offense to the question being asked. The way that Shamea defends Porsha's bullshit and makes excuses for that she did and will try to say that there was no wrong in that Porsha did, it's alarming. It is scary, number one, that she as a married mother is defending the bullshit that Porsha did. And secondly, this is the same girl that threw you under the bus. When Phaedra was out there saying that she was Candy and Todd's third wheel, that she was over there having threesomes with Candy and Todd. And when Phaedra was saying that Shamea be running around sleeping with everybody's husbands in Atlanta, Porsha was over there co-signing that shit. Porsha wasn't defending or denying a motherfucking thing when it came to Shamea. But here Shamea go wanting to argue with everybody about the bullshit that Porsha publicly did. Shamea is saying, well, Porsha didn't cross any lines because Simon's separation was very public. She crossed lines when she went to that lady's house, sat at that lady's table, ate that lady's food, swam in that lady's pool, fist bumped that lady's husband, and then laid up with the motherfucker. Soon as they were going through something, well, I jumped in both of their DMs. I told both of them, I hope that they work it out. Bitch, we knew what you were doing and so did you. But here's the thing. I always say, what you will excuse, you will eventually endure. Just know that while you sitting up there defending all that bullshit Porsha did, if God forbid, anything should happen between you and your husband, just know that Porsha is going to be the first one in line to be your churn stepmama. I get that Shamea is just trying to be a loyal friend, but you cannot be, and you shouldn't have to be, so loyal to somebody else that you are disloyal to yourself and to what is right. You shouldn't have to abandon your moral compass in order to be friends with somebody. And if you do, if you are willing to abandon your moral compass for the sake of your friendship, be prepared to follow your friend to hell, because that's exactly where they're going to lead you. And to try to force people to perceive or believe that this girl is some good, upstanding woman when we have Porsha's track record is public. That Carfax is public, baby. When we can go see all the shit that we know she's done, hell with the stuff we don't know. We got enough that's in the public. For you to sit up and try to argue people down and convince everybody that she's so righteous and she's a good person is manipulative on your part. And it makes me question her character. Like, maybe you defending this kind of shit because you the same kind of person. And in this same scene, in this same first episode, I find it so funny that Shamea wants to defend Porsha and how Porsha and Simon got together. But as soon as Kelli said, well, yeah, Porsha baby daddy was in my DMs when I posted a thirst trap. She said she posted some picture of herself in a bathing suit. She said Dennis came sliding and gliding into the damn DMs. Like, ain't no way you got 4 kids looking that damn good. Now, Shamea's all upset about, I know you, did you respond? I know you didn't. Tell me you didn't respond. I know you lying. Kelli said, no, I didn't respond. I told her, no, I didn't respond because I ain't Porsha. I ain't the head hoe in charge. Now, on top of Dennis being all in Kelli DMs, they think he down in Drew drawers. Girl, it's a time. Drew is back this season. She's going through a divorce and making a new album, and Dennis is the damn executive producer. I just know, Lord. And I'm so sorry. I don't feel bad. I don't give a damn. Now, if Drew messing with that man, she dead ass wrong. And I'm gonna tell you, I do. After there was a scene in one of the later episodes where they went to the studio and Drew came in there in the littlest damn skirt she could find, saying all kind of little slick shit. I said, yeah, they fucking. But I don't care, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can go lay up with anybody damn man. I mean, and Simon was married to that girl. I believe they had children together. I don't give a damn that your baby daddy bouncing around. I even bounce around with even with your ass. And because she's a hypocrite of a hoe. Remember when they had that spinoff show and they took some family trip where I think they all went to Mexico, and Porsha took Simon and her whole family and they had the baby, and Dennis came on the trip. And Dennis invited some girl that he didn't even have in Porsha's face. But Porsha wanted to fight Dennis and wanted to fight his mama because he had a woman, even though she over here playing house with this man, because she was playing house with that man to make Dennis jealous and don't understand that he don't give a damn. I ain't saying he don't love her. I ain't saying he don't like her. I ain't saying he might not want to be with her and might not end up with her one day. But baby, that's a street nigga. That's a street nigga at his finest, okay? He don't give a damn. You are one of many. You just happen to be the one that, yeah, okay, we had a baby. My thing is, after all the dirt Porsha has done to anybody she wanted to do it to, you deserve whatever you get. You cannot think that you can be out here taking what you want to take from people, doing anything you want to do to people, swinging on people's mamas and shit, and think karma ain't gonna match your energy. Karma will whoop your ass. Now she around there crying and carrying on about she feels so betrayed by Drew because she's been nothing but a friend to Drew. You mean like Simon's ex-wife was to you? Girl, suck it up. Get it how you live it. Get it the same way you were giving it. Remember, love wins. Moving on. We meet the new lady, Angela Oakley. Now, Angela is the epitome of what Real Housewives of Atlanta is supposed to be. Angela is the answer to saving this damn show. Angela needs to be in the Shamea position. They need to go find out who her friends are, what her network is, all the drama in her, build the show around her. She's married to some NBA star, Charles Oakley. Now, apparently he's a big deal, and I think he been playing back when I was born. They showed a picture from 1986, baby. I'm born in 85. That's above me. But apparently he's a big dog. I mean, he did play for the Bulls in the 80s. So, I mean, he's a little bit rough around the edges, but I don't know. Something about them as a couple, I just kind of like them together. I think they make good TV. I like that, she doesn't try to really hide her relationship from the show. Yeah, he a little rough around the edges. She let that be. She don't pretend that, he's so sweet to me. And I got this whole rough ass black man that, I know he don't mean no harm. I know y'all think he tough. That's all right. I know how to handle him. I got that. They let you in on their family drama. Like her family is, they about to tear each other ass up around there. She knows how to play the game when it comes to fighting with these women. They get to talking shit, throwing insults. She throw them right back and we moving on to the next scene. Oh, you want to make up now? We friends again? Okay, girl. Like, I love it. I love it. She is absolutely perfect. Now, at the end of episode 1 is where Shamea has this big birthday party where she brings everybody together at this big fabulous home that she has. And we get to see the cast interacting and the pop-off of the drama that is going to be the foundation of the season. Now, of course, Porsha shows up to the party late and trying to steal Shamea's moment as usual. They done had this whole party all day. The sun is going down. Shamea done changed outfits and shit. Her husband is presenting her a $430,000 Rolls Royce Cullinan as her birthday gift. And here comes Porsha, walking up in the middle of her moment. She don't go stand with the rest of the crowd. She comes up from behind and interjects herself. She all in Shamea's car. Girl, if you don't get the fuck about that girl moment. Now, not only did she show up late and hijack the girl's moment, she literally came and just took over the party and made it a whole big argument. Like, Porsha came to this girl's party to fuck it up and leave. That's all she came for. They had this whole round table discussion about whether Dennis is dealing with Drew, and Porsha has this whole argument and confrontation with Drew in the middle of Shamea's party. Porsha, I don't care what nobody say. Porsha is high-key a Jezebelic woman. Like, that's Jezebel. She's a hateful, envious, manipulative person who hides behind this countenance and a bunch of hair and makeup and acting like she's so sweet and childish so that she can sidestep accountability. Porsha is a fucked up person. And I don't know why people be walking on eggshells and stepping around that bitch and playing with her. Because see, a bitch like me would drag Porsha by her low self-esteem, okay? The way Porsha sat up in the middle of that damn party and told Drew some shit about, yeah, I saw pictures of you online and you looked washed and I can tell you going through a lot, all because you think she dealing with your baby daddy when you had just finished saying that your baby daddy invited you to Drew's event, but you couldn't come to the event because you had just wiped your face off. Bitch, if you can't go nowhere until somebody makes you a whole face that you can show, you wouldn't talk no shit to me about being washed. Not when your original face looked like one of Marge Simpson's sisters. I'd have dragged that bitch. Porsha is the epitome of a ratchet, bitter baby mama, and I ain't here for that bullshit. And the fact that she can confront Drew with such conviction is proof to me that the bitch don't have a conscience, because you went and you befriended some lady so that you could get up under her husband because you liked the lifestyle. Because let Porsha tell it, she knew of Simon before she met him through the wife. Yeah, you been eyeballing that man. And you just decided you was going to get that man and that lifestyle by any means necessary. And you played yourself in the public. She sat up there calling Drew a low down, dirty individual because of her relationship with Dennis, like she's not married, like she's not going through a divorce from a random, you didn't even know this man, and moved your child in a house with him and got the nerve to call somebody a low down, dirty individual from that abyss of a divorce you going through from an African scammer whose latest scam was you. If she's a low down, dirty individual, you's the president of the low down, dirty shame club. Go to hell. And the fact that Shamea just sat there literally like a lapdog and just turned a blind eye and encouraged this bullshit in the middle of her party. This girl showed up to your party late, came and started a fight in the middle of your party, and you just sitting there looking around and like, well, y'all want to go get cake? We can go sing happy birthday. If you don't put that bitch out. I could not believe when Porsha sat up there telling Drew about how her wanting to film with Dennis for this show is complicating her life. Girl, are you, she dumb. She got to be. You didn't care whose life you complicated getting with Simon. It was okay when you filmed with Simon on the show. But now, when Dennis doing what he want to do, when Drew running all over you, because see, what happens is, when you show yourself to be a person that has no moral compass, that has no moral standing, people operate like that with you. Oh, I don't have to play by no rules with you because you don't play by none. And now, everybody's so damn wrong for getting down how you get down, girl. Porsha is literally a bitter baby mama. And honestly, it's sad. It's really sad that this is what she's devolved to. We met Porsha as this sweet, churchy, married lady who just wanted to be this good wife to her husband who they said she was a beard to. And now this is what you've become? A bitter baby mama to a street nigga who low-key don't want you? Like, girl. And the thing is, I mean, it ain't like Dennis been this super faithful, super family-oriented guy. But didn't y'all break up because he was messing around while you was pregnant? Now, as they progress through the season, we get into the girl Brit Eady's life. I'm gonna try to, I ain't got it. I'm trying to find something decent to say about the bitch. I ain't got nothing to say. Her whole life is a sham. I don't know where she found that husband that she claimed she was sold some insurance to in 2020. I think she met him online or some shit, and all of a sudden they married. She trying to sell us some bullshit like they're this happy couple and they're working on a family and she wants a baby. That man done told her in no uncertain terms on TV, I don't want no damn baby with you. The problem is she don't have the sense to be embarrassed. She does not realize that you really need to go sit your ass down somewhere because this ain't giving none of what you think it's giving. Now, speaking of babies, they do also go into Shamea's IVF journey. And I'm gonna tell you, I really don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to break that down. I'm not even going down that rabbit hole because when Shamea shared her story about recently having an ectopic pregnancy and she started talking about the sharp pains and going to the hospital and bleeding out and all, it literally triggered me so bad. It took me right back to, it was like somebody grabbed me by the back of my head and snatched me back into that hospital room. I could feel it. And I don't want to talk about that. I do pray many blessings to her and her family and her fertility journey. And I pray that she gets to grow her family in the way that she wants to. So moving on, we do get into Drew and Ralph's divorce. That's a mess as usual. The marriage was a mess. What do you expect? They going through a divorce, still living in the same house. Ralph lives in the basement. Like, I don't know why. It's so funny to me that man live in that basement. I don't know if it's because he really behaves like a troll and he lives in the basement like a troll. I do not understand, but it takes me out every time I think about it, that he lives in that damn basement. She leaves every other weekend so he can come up out the basement like a damn ninja turtle and spend time with his kids. She said Ralph has taken all kind of money from her. Ralph is asking her for child support, alimony, a percentage of the businesses. Just please get the hell on. Drew said everything she's going through with her divorce is enough for her without Porsha adding this bullshit with Dennis on the top. And I'm going to tell you truthfully, I don't give a damn what she's going through either because I don't see it for Drew. Drew, you know what Drew is? Drew give me church hoe. Church hoes is some deep hoes. When I tell you them church hoes are deep and patient. When I tell you they will sit around a long time waiting on their chance to hop on something of yours, I'm trying to tell you, I don't put nothing past Drew. I absolutely believe she is around there hopping up and down on Dennis. Yes, I do. Now, speaking of Drew and Dennis, we had to see Porsha and Dennis going on a play date with their baby. Porsha crying and carrying on after she done confronted Dennis about the whole situation with Drew, and she telling him about, you don't even care how this looks for your daughter. I know you motherfucking lying. When you married a stranger that you stole from another woman and moved into his house with your child and quit all your jobs. So you had no means of providing for your daughter other than putting up with the scam of a man. This bitch, I cannot. Now that that's done hit the fan, now you're so concerned about the family dynamic and how this looks for your daughter. You didn't give a damn when you was hopping around on TV about you the princess of Thotlandia and you busted wide open for your man. You didn't give a damn how it looked for your daughter. That, like, girl, go to hell. It is insufferable to watch. To sit up here and watch her play this whole broken-hearted act and crying about, I can't depend on anybody but me. You don't give a damn about nobody but you. What do you expect? And the production asking her, why don't you tell Dennis how you feel, when she in the bathroom crying about, he doesn't deserve my tears, and neither do we. Leave us alone with this bullshit. What happened is, even in her relationship with Dennis, she overestimated her position. That's what happened. You done found some man that you just fell head over heels for. You liked him. You f***ed around and got pregnant and thought that made you the one. And you overestimated your position. That's when they say a baby don't keep no man. Don't nothing keep a man but a man wanting to be kept. And when he still was him, running in the streets, doing anything he wanted to do, she decided she was going to go make him jealous by getting up under Simon, who was supposed to have more money. This was supposed to be a come up. Now that she done played herself, she wants to cry and carry on and garner sympathy? To sit up there about, you don't care how this looks for your daughter, for you to be filming with Drew after everything you have done and embarrassed your daughter as a woman? How many times over? I don't have no respect for Porsha. And truth be told, Porsha mama ain't no damn better. We saw Porsha go on a spa date with her mom, and she's talking to her mom about her marriage and her divorce, and, you know, sitting up there playing that hurt wife role about she reached out to certain members of Simon's family to try to intervene in the divorce and see if they could help them fix it and stop this from happening, because that is customary in his culture, that when they decide that they want to get a divorce, that they can ask certain family members to step in to try to help. And she reached out to them, and she was just so disappointed to find out that no one wanted to help. They didn't want to step in. They told them that they should just proceed with the divorce. What the did you expect? Like, y'all are both scammers. They want you to get this sham and scam of a marriage the fuck about their face. And them people know that neither one of y'all loved each other. And you're not trying to save your marriage. You're trying to save face. You're trying to save yourself from having to admit that all the dirt I did to get this was not worth it, because look at how it blew up in my face. Now, Porsha is telling her mama about how Shamea came back to her telling her that the girls in the group were talking about her. Now, you won't tell your mama exactly what the girl said, because Shamea said the girl asked, why did she take that lady's man? You gonna tell your mama, Shamea told me all the girls did was talk about me all night. And hear her mama go about, why would she come tell you that? See, you got to watch the dog that brings a bone, because they carry a bone. Your daughter is the dog that's always on somebody's bone. And did you tell your daughter that when you saw your daughter on TV co-signing the bones that Phaedra was bringing about her friend? And that whole Porsha pretending to be so shocked and appalled that Simon could just turn cold on her and stop speaking to her. And I texted him because PJ was asking about him, and he read the message but didn't respond. And oh my God, like, girl, please suck it up. Because it was okay when he was doing that to the last wife. It was okay when he turned cold on her and her children. But you thought that you and yours were better. You thought you and yours were above it. What it is Porsha in her mind, I don't know what she thinks she got going on down there. But she thinks that she outranks other women. For some reason, you think you got something that the next woman don't. And these men will show you every single time that you don't. And speaking of men showing you what you ain't got, that damn Brit girl, I don't know what the hell she got that man from, but she need to send him back. He don't like her, and she don't like him. Now, I mean, she might like him because she ain't got the good sense God gave a goat, but that man don't like her. That man don't want her. I don't know if he needed a place to stay. I don't know if she's sponsoring him. I don't know what is going on. But the man don't like her. That man don't like her as much as she don't like Kenya. This bitch is a dog with a bone when it comes to Kenya. We saw Kenya have one interaction with this girl in the very first episode, which was at Shamea's party. She's wearing some big cloudy ass ring. And Kenya asked the girl, is she engaged or is she married? Because she's wearing a ring, but no wedding band. The girl starts going off like, no, this is my second ring. This is the upgrade. No, I'm married. So Kenya was like, oh, okay, well, is this the second husband? Like, this is your second ring? How the fuck do we know the history of what's been on your finger, bitch? Like, so Kenya was like, oh, okay, so is this your first husband? No, I have one husband. I have one husband, honey. This is 10 carats. And she has decided that she and Kenya are arch enemies ever since. About Kenya was trying to shade her. And I don't know why she's so worried about happily married women. Well, when you find a happily married one, you let me know and then we'll ask. She talking about worried about happily married one. Everything about Brit gives industry pass around. Everything. All that sitting up there about I dated rappers and athletes and ballers. Let me just say this for what it's worth. Prostitutes call their Johns dates. When they meet with their Johns, they're going on a date. Oh, but I used to date all these guys and the big ballers and they were flossing. But, you know, I didn't see any longevity with them. Yeah, because there was no longevity past your appointment. This is the same girl that came from Stevie J. Jocelyn Hernandez, Stevie J. Cheating on Eve with Mimi, Stevie J. Stevie J was producing a show called Penthouse Pets based on Penthouse magazine. And this hooker here thought she was going to be the head hoe in charge. I'm going to be in charge of the girls. I'm going to be something like a house mom. This is who we talking about. I don't know where they found her, but she don't belong on Bravo. Hell, she don't belong on Love and Hip Hop. This bitch belongs on Zeus. She will tell anybody who will listen about Kenya, and Kenya has it out for me, and she got one more time to say something to me, and Kenya. She is an obsessed fan. They need to get that bitch walking papers and a psychiatrist. This girl wants Kenya's attention so bad, it's not even funny. It gives that she wants to do battle with Kenya for the sake of exposure and malicious social climbing. And Kenya took the bait. Brit really ain't even that smart. It does not take that much to shut this down. I don't know why Kenya would allow this girl to pull her to that, just, oh my God. I mean, even watching the girl, the Brit, they had a scene where she went to dinner with her sister, and because she gotta let it be known. First of all, this is the one thing that I noticed about her. Anytime she speaks of anyone from her past, girls she went to school with, her sisters, old friends, everybody is jealous of her. She's one of those people, what it is you're jealous of everybody. And you project that out because you need people to be jealous of you in order for you to feel good about yourself. This girl starts telling the story of how her dad passed away and how that was devastating to her and her sisters, and they used to be really close, but her older sister took it the hardest, and so their relationship has kind of suffered. She also let us know that she had an insurance company or something, and she gave her sisters jobs, but she had to fire everybody because they didn't take the business serious. Like, girl, please. This girl goes to dinner with her sister because her sister wants to talk to her about where their relationship is gone. Her sister starts explaining to her that ever since Brit has gotten married, she doesn't feel like they can have the same relationship because she can't have a conversation with Brit without Brit's husband being present and in the conversation. She said, I don't want to talk to your husband about everything I'm going through. I want to talk to my sister. This dumb bitch goes in the confessional and makes it about her sister being jealous. About what it is that my sister is not happy because she's not where she wants to be in a relationship, and so it's hard for her to see me happy. No, you codependent bitch. Now, nobody wants to put up with that pet of a man you got. I shouldn't have to divulge everything I'm going through. I shouldn't have to have an intimate, personal, emotional relationship with your husband in order to have one with my sister. And if that's the case, going on about your damn life. She's the ultimate pick me. Women that do everything for the attention and the validation of a man, and they're always competing with other women about the attention and validation of a man. Them some dangerous bitches. I can't deal. Now, fast forward and let's get to this whole dinner with pistols, okay? So Angela Oakley hosted a dinner. From the moment that Kenya walked in, Brit was going at this lady. First of all, Kenya walks in like Kenya. The dress code is all black. And this heifer walks in a green Versace dress like, girl. So Kenya comes in, she greets everybody, she's hugging everybody around the table. She goes and hugs Brit, and Brit said, well, that was a tap, that wasn't a hug, you fucking fan. Kenya said, well, that was a hug without me getting makeup on me. I mean, like, what you want? Now, they sit down, they're having their dinner, they all laughing and talking and carrying on. Well, they decide to play some anonymous question game where everybody gets to write down a question. They're going to pass this box around. They're going to pull the questions, and people get to answer the questions that are directed at them. Before we even get into that game, let me just point out this whole thing that happened at that dinner that annoyed the dog shit out of me. Kelli confronted Drew about a charity event that Kelli had in a previous episode, where Kelli's children suffer from some genetic disorder of some kind. I don't know if it's genetic, but they have a medical condition. And she has partnered with a charity for that medical condition, and she had some shopping day at a designer store where everybody comes and they shop, and 10% of the proceeds go to this charitable organization. Well, she calls Drew out at the table and said that Drew not only came with extra people to the event, but the extra people, who happened to be Drew's makeup artist, didn't buy anything. And then she says not only did the extra person not buy anything, Drew didn't buy anything. Well, ain't you tacky? So Drew said, no, I did buy something. I bought a blazer for my son, some $2,000 blazer that she said was not in stock in his size, so they had to order it. And so she shows her this whole text exchange between herself and the sales associate. And Kelli is saying, well, it doesn't show an order, it doesn't show a purchase, it just shows that you discussed getting the item with them, not that you actually purchased the item. Well, here's my thing. She wouldn't shame me for not spending $2,000 on a blazer for a child who is going to outgrow it, especially when only $200 of said $2,000 is going to the charitable organization. I could go write them a check for $500 and still be doing more than buying a $2,000 blazer. And if you still think it makes sense to spend exorbitant amounts of money on designer things, even as we are watching China just tear everybody ass up. I mean, they telling everybody damn business. This shit $12. They charging you $5,000 for this $12. If you still running around insisting on giving your top dollar to these designers so that people can know that you wear designer labels, you the damn fool. You are literally the living, walking example of a fool, and their money shall soon part. You wouldn't make me feel bad. She'd kiss my entire ass. And Kelli, of all people, should understand that, because Drew is going through a divorce, becoming a single mother. You got small children that you still have to raise on a day-to-day basis and set them up for their future. Kelli got 4 girls. You need to be somewhere making sure that you managing your money, not throwing it all to some damn designer, if you had any sense. And before they got to the game, Shamea played her new song, because we saw that Shamea has been going to the studio and she's been working on her music, and she working with real producers and artists and singers like RL from Next. Oh my God. And when Shamea played her, first of all, that song is amazing. But when I tell you, when Shamea hit play, so did Porsha's Demons. Porsha couldn't contain herself. I mean, as soon as the song started playing, that's not Shamea, that's Drew. You was just dragging Drew. You beefing with Drew. You ain't got nothing to say to Drew. She's a low-down, dirty individual. But you hate Shamea so much. You are so jealous of her that now you gonna say, well, Drew is the talent in the group. That must be Drew singing. Girl, if you don't sing in hell, child, we know it ain't you with that off-pitch, off-key, out-of-tune, Amazing Grace. Your ass was singing. I mean, she just talked through the whole song. And I mean, you could see Shamea was pissed. She was truly, truly offended. And you need to be. You need to feel that, sit in that, so you can really see this girl for who she is. I ain't no way that's Shamea. No, you mad it's not you. Your baby daddy and all down there helping anybody make an album but you. But anyway, now the whole question and answer game. So they play this game where they're passing this box around and they're pulling out these questions and asking these questions. Well, they get to the girl Brit. And they, for some reason, had a bunch of questions for Kenya. One was about what color her drawers are. I don't know why. Now she stands up and shows them all her damn, but just anyway. Then another question comes to Kenya, which I'm pretty sure Brit wrote, which was, Kenya, why are you so worried about a happily married woman? Girl, Kenya just laughed it off and said, I guess it's just a habit. So the next question to Kenya was a question that Brit herself read. It says, Kenya, do you think that you can talk to Brit kindly and without an attitude? So Kenya answers and said, yes, I think I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude, and I think that I have. So Brit speaks up and says, well, the question isn't about everyone, it's about me. Kenya said, why? And she cut herself off, you know what, I ain't even arguing with this girl. So she says, what do you mean, why? What do you mean, why? I have the floor. The question is about me. This girl is nuts. Kenya said, you know what? Clearly you want a moment. Have your moment. She said, this is not a moment. Kenya said, yes, this is a big moment for you. She said, how? Do you need a moment? Maybe you're having a moment. Do you need to step out? Kenya said, look, I already answered the question. I said I can speak to everyone kindly. And she kept saying, well, the question isn't about everyone. Would you like for me to read the question again? Would you like me to read it again? Kenya said, you know what? I'm not going to play these childish games. A peasant cannot come for a queen. That set this nut off. So now she starts going off. Angela said, you know what? Let's wrap this dinner up before y'all embarrass the dog shit out of me. They're getting ready to leave, and the girl Brit starts saying to Kelli, but I didn't send for her. Kenya said, well, thanks for using my catchphrase, hello. Now Brit is screaming about, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. People are always trying to look for their moment. This lady has been on this show for a decade. You've been watching her on TV for a decade, and long before that, she's actually a beauty queen. That's where we know her from. She done been in every music video the same way I was a video vixen back in. She really was a video vixen. She was on every sitcom, every TV show, whether she could act or not, because she was a beauty queen. And you think your S is the moment? This bitch is dumb. The whole group is in the confessional saying that this girl is overreacting. She is doing too much. Child, are people trying to leave these people establishment? She's following Kenya around. She hollering and carrying on about, where's my husband? Let me go find my husband that cares about me. Where is my husband? Somewhere with his boyfriend. Porsha and Kenya are walking out and they're talking amongst themselves yeah, she is really doing too much right now. I mean, screaming in these people's restaurants. So they walk past, Porsha and Kenya walk past the group of them huddled. It's Drew, Kelli, Brit, and somebody else. I don't know. Kenya asked Drew to come here as they're walking outside. Brit starts talking about, no, we're still enjoying the moment. We're still having a moment. This is a ratchet bitch from the pits of hell. Now, as Kenya is standing in the door getting ready to walk out, and she's carrying on, she about, no, well, you know what? Let me call my husband. But you know what? I still got my pistol. Ho, what? That ratchet bitch needs to go, and Kelli needs to go with her. Because that girl sat up there about, I got my pistol, and Kelli didn't say anything to tell her, don't say that. That's not appropriate. Why would you say, girl, don't worry about it. Kenny is here, meaning her security, because she got to walk around with security because she got family court drama following her everywhere she goes. Now, you got a husband who threatened to take you off this earth in court in front of a judge to the degree that you have to walk around with security everywhere. But you think it's cute and it's funny, and you're going to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear when this girl starts talking about bringing out pistols because she mad that somebody asked her about her damn wedding ring? My thing is, how you up here talking about, well, don't worry about it because Kenny is here, your security is here. Kenya threatened y'all. Kenya is literally ignoring this girl, not speaking to this girl. And this girl is doing anything in her power to get a reaction. As this is all going on, not a single one, not cast or crew, says to that girl, you need to stop, you're doing too much, you're out of line. Nobody. And I notice that Bravo has a history and a habit of creating hostile work environments, especially for their Black talent. Now, the problem is that Kenya has often been the tool to create that hostile work environment, and now the same thing is being done to her. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was out of the question for me, because watching what Garcelle had to endure is too much like going to work. I'm a Black woman from the South. I see that shit on a day-to-day basis. I don't have to deal with that. This kind of shit is not entertaining to anybody. I don't know why Bravo thinks this is what we want to see what are supposed to be upper echelon Black women being threatened with weapons. Why they would think it's okay is beyond me, but it's a part of their habit and history. Because when Croy showed up to a reunion set and he had a weapon, he wasn't treated like the threat that he is. As a matter of fact, Kim said in that very same reunion setting that they needed to be thankful that this white woman sat up there with all them damn jigaboos because they wasn't going to get another white woman from the South to do what she did. And you know what Bravo did? Rewarded her with her own show. And they can't say it's because Kim had such an interesting storyline and an interesting family. They had absolutely nothing going on with a bunch of bad kids doing trailer park bullshit in a mansion. My thing is, if Bravo is done with Kenya, don't renew her contract. Just get rid of her. But it's like they brought this woman here to antagonize her, and you're going to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to her bullshit. Because Andy was on Watch What Happens Live or whatever, saying that apparently Bravo has done some internal investigation and they found that there was never a gun on site. Like, did y'all do one that night? Did y'all check her person? Did y'all check her vehicle? Did you check her because the girl said she keeps a pistol on her at all times. And she kept yelling at Kenya, like, you gonna learn tonight. You gonna learn tonight. You be doing all that shit for cameras, but you gonna learn tonight. And you gonna learn one day when you run up on your match. Somebody gonna hit you with that boosty. They gonna tell you, baby, you got that iron, I got that iron. They stop making no guns. You gonna run up on your match one day and it ain't gonna go down like you think it's gonna go down. You don't go around threatening people with pistols and you don't know who is who. You see people in their professional capacities and you don't assume that they know real life hitters. You don't go threatening people with pistols, man. I'm gonna tell you personally, I felt like Kenya should have been gone since she did what she did to Kim Fields. That's how I've always felt like that. I have never seen it for Kenya and her antics. Never. But this bullshit here is next level. They move on from this whole shit show of a dinner. And the next day we see that Shamea invites Angela and Brit to her house to discuss the whole evening, the whole incident that happened. Now I'm gonna tell you, Shamea pisses me off because she does this thing where she tries to, I guess she's trying to make the person who is clearly in the wrong feel like they're to some degree justified. I don't know if it's so that they'll open up and shit. I don't know, but the shit irritates me. She starts off by saying, I get that you were frustrated maybe because you were being interrupted, because I'm one of those people, I don't like when people interrupt me or talk over me. Kenya was not interrupting or talking over the psycho. Kenya was answering the questions that were being asked to her. And when Kenya would give an answer that she didn't like, the psycho would interrupt Kenya. So now, during this discussion, Angela acknowledges that she's the one who actually wrote the question. Shamea said, oh, so you do feel like Kenya treats Brit a certain way. Angela said, no, it's not that I feel like she treats her a certain way. It's that Brit confided in me that she feels like Kenya treats her a certain way. So I was trying to be a supportive friend and bring the conversation to the surface so that they could clear the air about it. So Brit is trying to convince Angela that no, you actually feel the way I feel. She said, no, you also think that she talks to me away and that she's short and dismissive with me. Angela said, no, I don't. We went on a hike and you told me that you felt that way. And so I was just trying to support you, not that I feel that way. Brit misperceived her support for agreement. And Angela is saying that I can be your friend and I can support you and try to help you get over an issue without actually being in agreement with your position in the issue. She said, and not only did I not necessarily agree, I just wanted you to clear the air. Now you've created an issue for me and I'm getting all the backlash from the venue owner. So she's, well, who do I need to apologize to? Your parents first, because you are an embarrassment. Now on the flip side, we see that Kenya has Kelli and Porsha come to her salon to talk about the whole thing. Kelli starts trying to play dumb about she didn't hear Brit say anything about a pistol. Like, girl, you were standing right there. She said it directly to you. She was looking dead in your eyes when she said it, and you responded to it on camera. Child, Porsha done snatched Kenya by her wig, and even Porsha is sitting there saying Kenya had disengaged with that girl. Kenya wasn't arguing with her. So one, for her to be as upset as she was is an issue, but for her to take it from talking shit, she said, you know, the shit they were talking at the table, all that, calling people out their name, you can walk that back. She said, but once you start threatening pistols, you got to explain to people exactly what you mean. Kenya was saying, it's giving crazy. The girl comes off like she's crazy, and there is no justification for her level of clownery, the level of aggression, the level of angst. Like, what she was displaying, there's no explanation for it other than she's out of her mind. And Kelly sitting up there like, no, she's not like that. Kenya said, you can't tell me that that's not who she is and let her show me who she is when she just showed me who she is. Child, when Kelly sat there and kept, well, I don't even know what happened. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything. You can see her cutting her eye and looking around when she's taking these sips of her drink. Like, she is willfully just flat out lying. And Kenya said, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing the gaslighting and the lying and the playing games because this shit is indefensible. And for this girl to sit up here and just flat out lie is telling of her own character. Like, she's not to be trusted. Now we move on from that and they get into Angela's family drama. I think Angela's whole family is a mess. I'm going to just tell you. She has a coffee date with her daughter. It was supposed to be with her daughter and her mother. But the daughter and the grandmother done got into it. They fell out because, according to the daughter went to the grandmother and demanded to use a vehicle that belongs to the grandmother that was purchased by Angela. And she said, the daughter said, she doesn't feel like it should be an issue. She should be able to use that car whenever she wants to because her mother paid for it. That little girl is highly manipulative. She goes on to tell Angela how, I guess, the whole family, they got into this big family argument because she around there trying to pull rank on her grandmama and her aunt by she should be able to take this shit when she ready because her mama paid for it. And the aunt went off on her and called her a demon. Now, yeah, it's a little bit deep to call people demons, but I'm going to tell you, I'm one of them people. If I see it in you, I'm going to call it out you. And I get from watching this girl why they would think she is some degree of evil, because she sits up there telling her mom after her mom said, oh my God, I didn't know they said that to you and I'm gonna definitely have to have a conversation. We're gonna have to address that. You never shared that with me. The daughter starts saying, yeah, and now that you know that you shouldn't be providing for any of them, you shouldn't be taking care of any of them financially. You literally want to pull the rug from under these people because you can't control them. And when Angela says, listen, that's my mom, and I'm not going to just turn my back on her, she said that Angela had an agreement with her own grandmother to take care of her mother because I believe her mother was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when she was a little girl. She said her mom has been medicated since she was about 8 years old, but now her mother is self-proclaimed healed. So I guess she ain't taking her medication no more. And when the go to Poland, she just, hey. And when the daughter realizes she's not going to be able to manipulate her mother into cutting off the grandmother and the sister, all of a sudden, my grandmother is a wonderful person. She's a beautiful woman. She's a strong woman. She's always been good to me, but she's just wrong in this situation. So she's always been good to you. She's this beautiful, strong person. But because you couldn't pull rank, because you couldn't run them, because it ain't even your money, it's your mama's money. Because you couldn't run them, you wanted to pull the rug from under, like, the fuck? This girl wants control, and she's not a child. I don't mean to call her a little girl, because she's 24, 25 years old, but she clearly wants control. And you don't give a damn about your mama. Because in the same conversation, Angela has to ask her, why did I have to find out that you're married through the same grandmother that you want me to cut off? And now she's mad about they telling her business. And then when her mother is sitting there in tears, that she's been excluded from her life, that you went and got married and you wouldn't say anything to me. The girl shrugged her shoulders and said, I can't turn back the hands of time. So she's a nasty little piece of work. I'm sorry. That shift from abandon them and cut them off, let them fend for themselves, to, well, she's not a bad person. I just don't agree with how she handled the situation, but because she wouldn't let me have my way, I wanted to ruin their lives. That's very telling of your character. And truthfully, it sounds like the apple didn't fall too far from the tree that you want to cut down. Now, speaking of Angela's family drama, we also see a scene where Angela mentioned to her husband something that Porsha mentioned to her at that bank dinner. Porsha asked Angela about any secrets that might be out there about her husband. Is there anything that you don't want us to find out? And Angela said, no, why? What you know about my husband? And Porsha starts playing off, I'll just wait till later. I'll tell you another time. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I've heard some stuff about him. Girl, ma'am, You can't manage the man you stole. Please don't worry about nobody else's. And now she down to this internet, but I don't know nothing about nobody, man. I didn't know nothing about my own man. I was just playing with her, but then I realized that she don't know me like that and I shouldn't play with her like that. No, hoes that be up under people, man, don't play with nobody about their man. So Angela brought it to her husband. Her husband, let me tell you something. That man a little rough. He a little rough around the edges, but he might kind of messy. That man said, who the hell she supposed to be, the feds? What she think she know about me? He said, matter of fact, don't even tell me. Don't tell me nothing she got to say. Don't tell me what she think. You tell me once you done curse that motherfucker out. That's when you come back and tell me about it. That's my kind of messy. Hell, I truly don't put it past Porsha to be putting something out there to try to plant a seed to break them people up so she can get her next husband. I don't trust that bitch. Now, moving on to Kenya's grand opening. It was an absolutely beautiful event. And for the life of me, I will never understand why Kenya betrayed herself and her daughter to choose vengeance over victory in that moment. I will never understand it. Now, I also don't understand why Brit would take her country apple up there after you made menacing statements about having a pistol on somebody. About, well, I acknowledge that I went too far and I want to apologize. Acknowledge that shit at home. Acknowledge that shit with your psychiatrist. And even having said all that, I still will never understand why Kenya sacrificed that moment for her. Like, you work so hard and you put so much into that for you to let the likes of her take it down. All Kenya had to do was plan a get-together, plan a dinner, just like that dinner Angela had, and drag that bitch for the absolute filth that she is. She is an easy takedown. This is something that needs to be studied. Like, Kenya needs to go talk to a professional that can help her trace down, like get all the way down to the root of why you would do this to yourself. Kenya had whole poster boards of evidence about this girl. That takes a lot of planning and premeditation. At no point in the planning process did you or anybody around you say, Kenya, maybe your grand opening ain't the time or the place. Maybe that ain't what you should do. And maybe if you want to drag the bitch, maybe you should just tell her what you've seen and heard about her and not necessarily print out all kinds of images and display them to the public. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I wouldn't have told her she ain't an all your life hoe. Because let me tell you something. When I get down in my bag, when I really just don't give a damn no more, I can make Heavenly look like a good, nice church lady. Like, I'm going to drag you from here to the pits of hell. I'm going to have to go pray when I'm done. I know I can drag it. So I get it. I get that Aquarian need to hold a mirror up to the bitch and show her the nastiest version of herself. I understand, but not like this. I want Kenya to figure out why. Because there was a scene in an earlier episode where Kenya sat down talking to Kelli and she teared up, talking about how she worries about whether she's done the right thing, and she hopes that she hasn't sacrificed her daughter's college education because she sunk all of her money into this. Like, why would you not say, this hoe ain't worth it? Something my grandmother used to always tell me is, you don't ever let a person make you stoop to their level. If anything, you make them come up to yours. And the thing is, a hooker, no, they a hooker, okay? You're not surprising them by exposing that they're a hooker. But when you call a person to a higher level that they can't really reach, that's when you're gonna really crack that edge. So you don't have to diminish yourself. You don't have to bring yourself down to the level. Operate at yours. You just finished telling the girl, peasants can't come for a queen. If you sit high enough on your throne, she can't reach you no way. Now, just to run the story down, Kenya had her event. She has this whole Bronner Brothers style hair show. Everybody's there. It's beautiful. Brit shows up in the middle of the hair show. Kenya decides that now is the time to expose the embarrassed bitch. So she's giving this speech about how she's worked so hard for this and she has people that keep coming for her no matter what. Kenya's going on about how I've been that, still that bitch, always gonna be that bitch, and I'll pay a bitch death but then you paid her your whole moment. Kenya's telling the audience how the girl is mentioning that she got a pew-pew, and she's saying how this girl was saying, you don't know who I am, and so I decided, yeah, I don't know who you are, and so I did a background check. She starts presenting all the evidence. Now, the first poster board wasn't that bad. It was showing all the different faces of Brit and showing all the bad cosmetic work she's had done. Then Kenya brings out a bunch of images of the girl being a video. Kenya said, I was a video vixen in my day, but I was always a leading lady. I was getting paid real money to be in these people's videos. It's not funny. It's just subtle. I guess the third poster board was the charm. She said the people kept sending her information, and the pictures that she had on that, I think, was of the girl giving fellatio, and she was underage when that video or photos or whatever the graphic evidence was taken. Everybody is in shock, awe, and disgust. People just started walking out. Now, of all the ladies, Cynthia said to Kenya that, listen, I'm getting to know Brit, but I do know you, and I hate that you let this all end this way. And now Kenya down to the internet dragging Cynthia by she ain't no kind of friend and this, that, and the third. Listen, a real friend will tell you when you're wrong. And this is a situation where Kenya had the right of way, but she went about it wrong. And two wrongs don't make a right. Like, that girl was dead wrong. But this was the time for Kenya to be a Karen. This was the time to pull out the tears, the fear, the, oh my God, I cannot be on set with her. Where is HR? And if your friends can't tell you that, then, I mean, you're kind of lost. Now, while I don't agree with anything Kenya did, I don't see it for Kenya and her antics. I don't buy none of this. Oh my God, I can't believe my mom is gonna see me like that. All that crying and carrying on Brit is doing. You were on a whole production called Penthouse Pets that was either produced or hosted by or with Stevie J, where you were going to be a house mom. You've been this industry passed around talking about dating all the rappers and athletes. And yes, I used to date Rick Ross. Everybody has dated Rick Ross. Like, he changed women more than he changed his damn drawers. So I do not buy this whole, I don't want my mom to see me like that. It ain't like your mom thought you were some sweet church lady. You down to the church being a senior missionary and all kind of shit. She just found out you got OnlyFans. Like, girl, go to hell. So as unpopular as it may be, I don't feel bad for either one of them. I don't feel bad for villains and provocative victims. I just don't. She's saying that Kenya planned this to ruin her reputation. And I mean, it ain't that you had one that was so far out of the gutter. But yeah, Kenya did plan this to ruin her reputation. Just like she planned to come on this show to antagonize Kenya. And just like Kenya is gone, she needs to be too. I don't care to hear her excuses and apologies and all this bullshit. And because Kenya done exposed her, she did end up admitting that she did allow her boyfriend to take a video of her giving fellatio as a teenager, and that she did cam girl work in her early 20s, so basically porn. Now she claims her insurance license is at risk of being lost because of all the stuff that Kenya has put out there about her. That's what Angela called bullshit. Angela said, now listen, I'm licensed too. I work in the same industry. Somebody exposing that you've been a hoe in your early years is not going to compromise your license. It's compromised for another damn reason. Brit also went on to say that all of the stuff that Kenya found was wiped from the internet. So she had to go out of her way. Like, they really had to dig deep to find that stuff. And she's saying how no woman should have to go through what she's going through. No, what it is you thought that your past was wiped away. And that gave you the confidence to be the menace that you are. And what Kenya did was dug your truth up and broke your confidence. Now, Kelli had some brunch at her house to try to bring everybody together and make Brit feel better after this whole thing went down. And they're talking about the whole incident, and Brit finds out from the ladies that they have talked to Kenya and gotten Kenya's side. Now she mad with them about, why do y'all care about her side? Who do you think you are? That you think you just gonna come and turn a whole friend group upside down because you don't like somebody and you started some shit with somebody. You're supposed to be able to ostracize them from this whole group. Like, who do you think you are? Now she arguing, fighting, carrying on with them. When Angela starts questioning the story she's trying to give about why her license is compromised, she barking and cursing at Angela. Like, this girl is nuts. Now, of course, after all this went down, Bravo decided to stop filming with Kenya for the rest of the season. And I mean, I'm gonna try to watch the rest of the season, But I have a hard time even having empathy for any of these women. When I get like that, things bad. Because I'm usually very empathetic to people in their situations. Even if I don't like or agree with them or the decisions they've made or how they live or whatever, I can usually empathize to some degree. And I just find myself rolling my damn eyes. And I think part of the reason is, for me, they're just not interesting. Like, I don't care that you went shopping and you wear designer and you wear a bunch of makeup and you have bad filler and all kind. I don't care. And you know what I think part of the problem is, for me at least, is these are 30, 40, 50, however year old women giving high school energy. It's just like they lack substance. They are dressed up emptiness. I mean, even the girl Kelli is sitting up talking to her daughter in one of the scenes in the most recent episode, and the daughter told her, my greatest fear is turning out like you. Well, damn. The thing about Real Housewives of Atlanta back in the day is, though they were vain, they were absolutely vain, they were into their design and all that stuff, they had robust storylines because they had real lives. Like, we got to see inside of Nene's marriage and her raising her children and trying to build businesses and all that around their plastic surgery and their wigs and their bags and things. We saw Shamea and everything that she was going through with Bob and raising her kids and finding out that her oldest daughter was her oldest daughter, not her damn assistant. There was more to them than just the surface. And that's just, I'm not interested in these people. And when they ended this most recent episode with them doing the damn electric slide to no damn music, they about pissed me off. I'ma try, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish the season. But that's it, that's all, and I ain't got no more. Thank y'all so much for coming down here listening to me and letting me get this off my chest. Y'all, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, you know I love you and I mean it. Bye.